Gregor and I were talking about some tools, what tools will help build trust in a community situation. And I thought I would share 3 with you here. We can get into a deeper conversation later. One of the most important tools, and when I talk about tools, I'm talking about in the classic sequence of forming, storming, norming, and performing. Tools are what we create when we create norms, or our culture, or our customs. The tools that we agree to use when we make decisions, or resolve conflicts, or do co-visioning of our future, or design a school for our children. So those norms are really important. And the way that we can develop these norms is to find out what each of us needs. And the best way for me to find out what you need is to ask you, what do you need? And likewise, the best way you can find out what I need is to ask me for my needs. So there needs to be a lot of conversations about understanding each other and what we need. If there's a little game I play with myself, which is one of my bumper stickers, as I call them, a little aphorism. Ask for what you need and offer what you can. This actually comes from Christina Baldwin, wonderful American writer and community builder. And she and Scott Peck and myself and others are about the same generation. And Christina says, ask for what you need, offer what you can. So take care of myself, in other words. And don't wait for you to give me what I need. I need to take responsibility for getting what I need. And I invite you to take responsibility for getting what you need. And then we can help each other. If I let you know my needs, I make myself supportable. It makes it possible for you to support me. And if you share your needs with me, I can support you because I know what you need and I can do my best. And then that's me taking care of me. Then offer what I can is me serving you. And I have gifts and skills, and each of us, you have your gifts and skills. The game is offering those up to each other. There's so many skilled leaders that I've met in both the original Leak community and amongst the people that are being magnetized, are being drawn into this dream at Fairing. So processes, council circles, weekends for camping and sitting by the campfire and sharing with each other who we are and what we need is part of trust building. We need a lot of trust built already before we can deal with conflicts, deal with big important differences. So if there's trust and we come into a moment where we're different, that difference can be transformed into diversity, a rich diversity, like a rainforest. If we're afraid of differences, and we want everybody to think the same, feel the same, want the very same thing, then we begin to feel conflict. Well, you don't want what I want. That's conflict. And conflict will end up with either everybody losing, not getting what they need, or some people getting what they need and others not getting what they need. But a win-win, or even better, win-win-win-win-win, where everybody can get what they need. And it's a dance. And that dance requires trust. So, step one is creating the trust in our relationships so that we can deal with conflict after it happens. And if there's lots of trust, we can create a culture where we can move away from conflict. Paradoxically, the way to do that is to move towards being vulnerable, towards being open and trusting and unguarded. That begins to build trust. So, trust building before dealing with conflict. And the deeper the conflict, the more trust is required. So, it can all grow together. Lots of ways to build trust. Many of you already know them. That's where we should put our focus in these early days of bringing people together who have not lived and worked together, is create a safe space where we can be who we really are. Another tool that's really important when things are not okay, they're not working, is we need to be able to press the pause button and stop. If we can stop the process before too many people get angry, get hurt, then we can tune the process, we can fix it. We can find out what people need in this moment of exploration. And we can change things, adjust things, and if we can come together enough to hit play and start the game again, that's the goal. In my experience, that's the only way when the train jumps off the track, is we have to stop, get it back on the track, and then hit play. If we just try to keep driving the train and the train is not on the track, we're going to start really hurting folks. So the pause button is really a 3-step process. Stop, pause, figure out what's not working. It's called a problem statement. And once we identify what the problem is, then we find some solutions, test them, see if they're going to work. The way to do that is when everybody is ready, get set, go. Then we can try it again. If it's still not working, we can stop again and fix it and start it again. And do that as often as necessary until the train runs on the track. It will not work to try to drive harder and faster if we're lost or the engine is broken. So it's a wise and powerful tool to know when to stop and when to go, and to do this as a community. It's not enough for one person to stop or half the people to stop. We need to agree when we're stopping and when we're going. That's community life. And as the third tool, and one of the really very most important tools, is choosing as a community frequently, regularly, to celebrate your successes. To have a celebration, a party, a great big community-wide thank you. To thank the people who are doing the work, thank the leaders who are spending a lot of time leading, and thank the projects and the teachers and the trainers and the cooks. Everybody enjoys and needs to hear a thank you. It's actually a spiritual practice to begin every gathering, every meeting, every stop for a beer or a cup of coffee together, is to begin in gratitude and end in gratitude. To meet, the first thing you say is, thank you. Glad we're getting together. And thank you at the end. And in between, celebrate. Celebrate what's working, celebrate how fun it is, celebrate how much we're learning in the midst of all this pain. You can celebrate the pain. There's this wonderful saying that we learn by trial and error. That is, we learn by making mistakes. You never hear, we learn by trial and success. Failing is a much better teacher than success. When we learn something after making a really bad mistake, we tend to remember it forever. So it's possible to celebrate your mistakes. Mistakes are not wasted if we learn, and if we learn, celebrate the learning. If you can find some wisdom, some gift in the wound, some gold in the middle of the mud pile, celebrate. Yes, that's where the learning happens. Celebrate and enjoy each other, and say thank you often as you can. And here, I'll do it myself. Thanks. Thank you. I love this conversation.